Agricultural sector contributes over 30% to Kenya's GDP. Now, this sector also employs over 80% of people in rural areas. Ahead of the rainy season, which marks the beginning of the planting season, Laban-Cliff Onserio caught up with young farmers for insights on preparations and also prospects about this season.
Favorable weather conditions and arable landmass ensure that agriculture in Kenya is a rich and viable business for investors of farming produce such as cotton, tea, coffee and pyrethrum.
If you look at our country, the land here is very good land if you compare to countries like Israel, which are huge exporters of agricultural produce. Okay? There is no reason why we should not be exporting much more agricultural produce from this country. Okay? And the only way to do it is to have people who are interested in actually farming and getting their hands dirty.
Agriculture has for a long time been known to be the backbone of Kenya's economy, and now with the season of the long rains coming in, farmers are busy preparing their lands ahead of the long rains. Here is our experience with them.
To begin with, it's a bit challenging. It needs close attention. So if somebody decides to do the farming thing, he has to be in it and come and look at it all the time. You need to know what's going on, the spring program, but it's a learning curve. Basically, the first time you start, you'll find challenges here and there, but with time you learn how to overcome them. So when you're going for your next period, then you'll have a general feel of how it is.
The seasonal impact of the rain has seen farmers based on the outskirts of Nairobi venturing into greenhouses so as not to harm their farming production. Tomato farming is the largest produce which has seen success through greenhouse farming.
What we decided to begin with is that we'll not depend on rains to do the agriculture, because now it means that if the rains are not there, you'll not be able to do the agriculture in itself. So we decided to do the whole drip line thing. We tap our own water. If it rains, well and good, that's a plus side. But if it doesn't, we still continue. We're not now dependent on the rain.
There's an upside and a downside to it. The fact that we have long rains, our expense on water goes down, because I think until the long rain started, we used to spend 3,500 on water per week. Right now, it might considerably go down. But now the flip side to it is production in the market goes up and prices plummet.
A price increase in planting materials such as fertilizer and seed, as well as in the machinery, has played a critical role in influencing farmers in Kenya. The government recently introduced a 3 billion fertilizer subsidy to ease the direct costs suffered by customers and offering fund incentives.
You know, the challenge with agriculture is we don't always control the sales prices. They're controlled by market forces. And at any given time, we are not guaranteed that we will get the price that we want. But the inputs, we have to spend money on the inputs before we even get the output. So agriculture ties up your money. And then you're not sure that you're going to recover that money because the prices might be influenced by forces beyond your control. And this is the anxiety of farmers. And therefore, any effort to stabilize input prices or even to reduce them by the government, I think is a very positive effort.
The government is doing a lot, because this is a project by the Youth Fund called the Agri-Vijana Loan, which they were doing a pilot project to see how it's going to help the young people come up. So people were encouraged to come up in groups, and they would be funded to do such a project. So it's a good stepping stone. The government is giving assistance to the young people as they come up to do their farming. So I will say that it's encouraging young people to do agriculture.
After the harvest season, it's not only the hope of every farmer to produce a generous harvest, but also to ensure that their produce fetches the profitable prices at the market.
You need to time the season. Like, for example, we did tomatoes. By the time we were harvesting, it was high season. So our first harvest, we got into the market at when the price was really good. But come now, we're in the low season for tomatoes, and tomatoes in the market are really cheap, close to throwaway prices. So at times you even fail to break even.
We noticed a unique phenomenon during our visit to the farms. Commonly, the average farmer in Kenya is aged over 50 years old. These farmers, however, were all aged below 27 years. This is unusual, as many in their age group are typically out job hunting. These young men have decided to sail against the tide.
The old people, who are the fewest, are doing agriculture, and the young people, who are the most in numbers, are not doing it. So we are trying to turn that around. Tell people that industries like IT, they are growing because the input of young people who are creative, they have more energy. That's why, like in Kenya, we have M-Pesa, it's growing very fast. It's actually an export. We are taking it around the world because of the young people's input in that industry. So we are saying if you put young people in this industry, it will be able to grow as fast as the IT sector is growing.
There are no white-collar jobs being created. I mean, and we've got a lot of land which is still lying idle. If we can improve our farming, encourage youth to go back and do farming and show them that they can actually earn even more income than being employed, then employment means being usefully, being employed gainfully, right? Not just being in an office. If you're employed gainfully, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in the office or in the farm.
Kenya's unemployment rate stands at 40%. These young farmers have set out to encourage their colleagues to undertake the move into such lucrative farming ventures.
Agriculture has more potential because 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land is found in Africa. And those other people in the other parts of the world have seen that, and they are coming in large numbers. In Ethiopia, currently, farmers from India are buying thousands of hectares of land. In Congo, in Zambia, Chinese and South African farmers who are being chased from South Africa are going into the Republic of Congo to buy big chunks of land. But we, the young people, are not seeing that as an opportunity. So we are telling young people that there is an opportunity you're not seeing. It's just in your backyard.
Apart from being a key element of the economic pillar of Vision 2030, agricultural growth has been earmarked to propel Kenya by a projected 5% GDP growth in 2013. With the government subsidy, favorable weather conditions and active youth participation, the farming sector will surely excel to greater economic heights. For Ion Kenya, I am Laban-Cliff Onserio.